If you're new to Destiny 2 and come to watch this video, you've come to the right place. In this video, I will talk about character creation and classes in Destiny 2, explaining how it all works. This video will start with creating your character, going over appearance and classes, and secondly, go over subclasses, talk about the light subclasses that haven't been updated yet, which are Arc and Solar, and then talk about the new updated subclasses, well, reworked subclasses, and the new one, Stasis, which is the newest one as of Beyond Light. We haven't gotten another one yet, and Void, which is the reworked one. Then I'll go over stats as the final point of the video. You see, most beginner guides are just one big video, but I'm going to do this in a series of videos that'll be quick and concise for viewers to really understand every aspect of Destiny 2, and just ignore that. That happens. Now, some background on the game. Destiny 2 has 3 classes and 4 subclasses per each class, which have a different playstyle and some other different stuff that are part of builds in the game and can be very helpful as each give cooldowns or for a buff to some character. I'm Darth Toes, your friend neighborhood Sith Lord. Before we get into the main parts of the video, if you've been watching my videos for some time, please subscribe, as it is free and it's most appreciated. If you're new to my channel, I do Destiny 2 and Warframe guide videos. I've recently started doing gameplay videos, this being my first Destiny 2 gameplay video in a very long time. I used to do them a while ago, but I started doing more guides. I'm gonna see if I can fit them in. Busy, a lot. Busy. And it's playing some Gambit Invasion Swap. That's a pretty fun mode. So go check it out, well, after this video. Now, character creation. Explain you create your characters. First, we're gonna talk about classes. You have 3 choices. You got Grand Metro 9000, Big Nerd, and Flaming Hot Cheeto Gum, etc. But since you probably don't get that, it's Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. Titans are the big beefy tanks, made to punch everything, even that exploding enemy. That will definitely kill a Titan, but doesn't matter because of the punch thing. Warlocks are big nerds who took reading books so hard they use the universe-sized brain they have in their head to cast cool things like big explosions and wells of light. Hunters are agile. They use real-life weapons like staffs, commas, a gun, a bow, and knives that can delete people's existences. Now, after that, there's the appearance of your character, which is useless because the helmet just stays on. Anyways, there's 3 races, each are human, kinda. Human is human, Exo is robot human, and Awoken is blue human. So the races humans are just, regular humans, breathe, whatever else. Exos are humans who had their mind transferred into a robot body using some darkness, or as Clovis Bray the First called it, who's the creator of the Exos, clarity control, and some Vex radiolaria, which is this weird stuff in Vex. Using that and the human mind, you have an Exo. Woken are humans on a colony ship, Exodus Green, escaping Earth from the impending collapse of the human race. And getting caught, oh my gosh, my watch just had to interrupt. Well, and getting caught between a singularity between light and dark, and they, pocket singularity is made, pocket dimension known as the distributary, and they lost their physical forms and became beings of pure potential. Mara Sosby came to know her, becomes the first to take a form, and manipulates the new pocket dimension, to make the other members of the ship into Awoken as we see them now. Brain tactically nuked the lore of this game. Just you can do the funny stuff with the appearance, Guardian with pink hair, Horn for your Exo. I know we just talked about appearance, but come on, Unicorn Horn for Exo. But that was basically creating your character. Now, before I get into the next segment, if you want to become the coolest Sith Lord, then subscribe. Follow my Twitch, the link is in the description where I do Destiny 2 and Warframe streams. Follow my Instagram where I'll be doing weekly reset guides, mini guides, twab, updates, clips, just little stuff. There's really a schedule of these, and I haven't really done much yet. That's twab and reset, but I'll try my best to upload consistently. Now, right back into the video after the section of me promoting myself. Check out that stuff if you enjoyed this content. Subclasses are a thing in Destiny 2 that are a bit confusing. If you joined in Beyond Light, the only subclass from the advanced system was Stasis, and that created a divide among the players. As playing any light subclass, you got the boring trees and sucked at the game. Now Void has it, and every day as a sense that we get closer to the togetherness of the subclasses, we get to see the advanced system like stasis to the light subclasses. We saw this first with Void 3.0 as of Witch Queen Season 16. Void was the start, Nexus, Solar, and Arc. I think Nexus, Solar, or is it Arc? I think it's Arc because I think they even teased some changes about the Synaptic Sphere having some Arc 3.0 buff changes thing. I don't know. I think they want to tease something about that with the Synaptic Sphere. Now, the two subclasses of the advanced system are going to go up first. Void and Stasis. I'll start with Void because Void is free and you have to get Beyond Light to get Stasis. Void has debuffs and buffs. Buffs that you can apply are Invisibility, Void Overshield, and Devour. Invisibility is pretty obvious. You go invisible and see you. Void Overshield, you get more shield to your health, kind of like Halo and their overshields. And Devour heals you when you get a kill. The buffs are Weaken, Suppress, and Volatile. Weaken, weakens the enemies. And of course, the floor is made out of floor. I don't know why I asked that question. Suppress makes enemies not able to use their abilities, which will make every hunter angry as they cannot sprint or jump while suppressed. Because hunters only know one thing when they get shot. It's jump. Volatile makes the enemy volatile, and with more void damage, it will make the enemy explode. Now we're going to talk the abilities of the how the subclass works. More like the abilities of it. First, the supers. You get 2 to 3 supers to choose. Each have a different effect depending on the description of what they do. Titans have 2 supers and the others have 3. There are also grenades they can do that have their own effect. For example, Vortex Grenade, which creates a vortex that does damage and kill enemies. You have your jumps and your melee, which class having their own different jump and melee. Titan's jump is like a jetpack. You go. Think about it as you go up. Now aspects, these give you extra abilities or bigger modification to your abilities. For example, Hunter with Trapper's Ambush. This gives them extra ability when they press X to do a little dive that when landing makes them invisible, which consumes their melee though. Fragments are small little buffs that can affect the game. An example is Echo Dilation. Makes your radar enhance and makes you sneak faster. These are more smaller buffs. Also can give you more stat buffs. Stasis, which uses the same system, and being the first to use the exact aspects and fragment system. Difference is Stasis uses a 3-part system instead of buffs and debuffs like Void, Slow, Freeze, and Shatter. Those are the system little parts that gears. Slow is obvious, it slows an enemy. Freeze is when an enemy is frozen. Shatter is when the enemy is just plain deleted due to damage. It needs to be frozen first, so it goes slow. Go down and be like, I can't walk as fast, beep. And then the enemy is frozen and they're like, and then shatters when they all die. Stasis has its own grenades, melees, and supers. Subclass has that. And the only thing that's constant for subclass is the type of jumps you have. You always have the same 3 jumps to choose from. Now, the light subclasses that haven't been updated yet. You still have your jumps and your class abilities, but you only got 3 grenades. Supers based on what tree you choose. Supers also connect with the perks you get for that tree. There also isn't any cool system like Stasis and Void. But during the year of Witch Queen, all get updated subclasses. So we'll see Arc and Solar updated soon. Can't wait for Arc 3.0 because I get an excuse to use Hunter and Arc subclass with combo melee with Liar's Handshake. That was my favorite thing to do back in before Stasis existed. Stats. These are the 6 symbols on the left of your armor. The first stat is Mobility, which makes you faster and jump higher. If you play Hunter, this is your class ability cooldown. Resilience is your defense, which makes you more tankier. This is your Titan's class ability cooldown. Recovery determines how fast you regenerate health. This stat is your Warlock class ability cooldown stat. Discipline is your grenade cooldown. And click the stat that kinda determines your cooldown for your super. Bungie kinda messed up a while ago during the 30th anniversary update when they made tiers for the supers. The super has a base cooldown. Each super is different. 5 tiers. Tier 5. I forgot how it went, but like one of the extremes of the ends is shortest cooldown and one is the longest cooldown. Now, why this is important is that the stats can be useful in situations and they can support teammates, break your dead. Having more discipline means you can chuck a lot of grenades to get as clear or intellect, which means you can cast your super to help your teammates in a sticky situation. Now, there are also 2 ways you can go with stats. Balanced stats, with each stat being more close to each other. This is better for wanting to have a jack of all trades, stat-wise builds or builds are more complicated than just stats. The other way is min-maxing your stats. This is who can invest the time and resources in the game, and some other stuff. This way will make you more invested in the stats you choose. Max stats is 100, so if you want to go to a stat, your maximum is 100. Anything above that just does nothing. Alright, hunters, having 224 mobility is going to make you faster or jump higher. Now, to get higher stats, you want to get better armor that comes from endgame activities like raids and dungeons. There are probably several other guides out there that tell you how you can get high stat armor, and I'm going to recommend some stats for each class. So warlock, recovery, intellect, and discipline. Hunter, you should do mobility, strength, and recovery. Titan, you should do resilience, strength, and intellect. But these are just recommendations. You don't have to listen to any of them. Just turn off the video at this point and just do whatever. Make a hunter with 100 mobility and resilience. Make a warlock with... Now that was everything about creating a character in Destiny 2. The character creation process is about appearance and classes, and then subclasses and stats. Hope you thought it was helpful, and if so, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow my other platforms. See you guys soon. Toaster out and play some LEGO Star Wars.